Okay, I wanted to report that I did go to the dentist and got my teeth cleaned on February the 5th, and I only coughed twice. It was amazing. For some odd reason, I cough more in my apartment than when I go out. I don't get it, but yeah. I have had a stubborn cough. I caught something around January the 10th, and it's been a month, and I'm still coughing from it. I talked to one of my Patreon supporters, and they said there's something going around, and they caught something 2 months ago, and they're still coughing from it. It's like you get there's some sort of virus out there that gives you a cough that just won't go away. I told them it appears to be a mixed infection. I think Lizzo has created some sort of virus that works with her mites, and she's able to use the mites to keep the virus going, which is kind of ironic because I have a cup that I drink out of that has Zach Knight's semen in it, and I'm sure he ejaculates in it regularly, and the semen has antibiotic properties. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but I think Brent told me that what Lizzo has been doing is she has created a mite that literally eats viruses and then poops them. And so once the virus is in the mite's digestive tract, then Zach's antibiotic semen cannot work on the virus because it's protected by the mites. Yeah. His antibiotic semen does not kill mites. So she apparently has come up with a mite that eats viruses and then poops them after, and so the viruses keep going back into the body. I'm not, that sounds like it could be accurate. The point is, I'm just not used to catching things, possibly because I've been on Zach's antibiotic semen all the time, and Lizzo has apparently found a way to work around that. She has created these genetically engineered mites, which she drops in the bombs over our head, and they are impervious to Zach's semen. Yeah, Zach has semen that will kill all germs, yeast, bacteria, everything. So she has come up with something that is able. Most of the coughing that I have right now, I think, is mites, and what I just explained to you. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of meditating to keep myself out of trouble. I consider it like my job to keep my husband alive. The evil side is obsessed with me, so I try to make sure that any ideas that come into my head that I don't act on them by doing meditation. I usually do it once a day at least, but on days when I feel a lot of ideas coming into my head, I will do it more than once just to make sure that the ideas are not coming from Baphomet, because he specializes in putting ideas in your head. I've been working very hard on the Gail series, and now I think I'm on the 18th story. So I'm right now working on the story about Gail's men going their own way, and I've also quit. That was a bunch of men. My men put like 25,000 guys on my marriage list, a lot of them celebrities and stuff, with my asexual leanings. If I had known they had done that. Of course, I didn't realize that I was asexual leaning until the goddess Lakshmi counseled me in 2022. Yeah, and I'm actually going to be including a lot of my conversation with the Hindu goddess Lakshmi and how she helped Brent and I to understand each other. Yeah. She really helped me to understand myself and helped me to understand what is a monogamous person, because in fact every story that I write, I usually have a spiritual lesson that I learned through the event, or that I think could be learned from the event, and I try to share that in the story so that you can learn the spiritual lessons that I've learned. I'm actually starting off my story about Gail's men going their own way, which was a band of men that rebelled against me when I told them that I only wanted to have real sex with Brent. That I didn't mind doing brain-to-brain group sex with them, but when it came down to time for real sex, I only wanted it with Brent. I didn't want it with anyone else. And I told them I had a prenup agreement, and I thought everybody understood that the men on the marriage list were on a waiting list, okay? They did not understand. They got really, really mad. They gave me the middle finger, and they started rioting. They were even physically beating each other up. At this time, it wasn't helping matters that at this time, Jesus gave all the men on the marriage list a Christmas present, which was the vagina butts. So they were not able to poop, okay? That didn't help. And the whole story is about this. Eventually, my men figured out how to make a poop app, like an iPoop app, you know, where they could transport the poop from the bowels into outer space. But it took them, I think, about over 2 weeks to figure out how to do this. And it was getting to the point where it was life-threatening because they weren't able to poop. And Vladimir refused to have a colostomy bag, okay? So anyways, I'm going to be writing. He said, that means I'm going to be like Hillary Clinton, who goes around with a colostomy bag. I'd rather die first, you know. So I'm going to be making writing my next story about that. I started it off with my philosophy, what I thought about polyamory, though at the time I didn't know what was polyamory. I thought it was monogamy. I didn't. The goddess Lakshmi did a really good job educating me about polyamory, monogamy, and what those two things mean. To be honest with you, when the goddess Lakshmi said, "You're polyamorous, Gail," and I thought that meant polygamy. Actually, polygamous people could be polyamorous. Basically, a polyamorous person is a person who has a committed emotional relationship with their partner or partners, okay? And everybody in the group agrees to the rules they lay down, okay? And as long as everybody's in the group is happy and they're abiding by their rules and nobody's getting hurt and everything's consensual, then it's not sinful. And I actually believe that. Yeah, I do. You might say, boy, you've come a long way since your background in evangelical Christianity. Yes, I have. Yes, I wasn't raised in a Christian home, okay? My mother, I don't know what she was, I guess atheist, though she always had a little Buddha temple in her bedroom that she offered fruit and rice to. But I became a Christian to kind of like rebel against her because I didn't agree with her, what I considered her shallow values. She was a fashion model, actually a swimsuit model growing up, but she was a narcissist and mean as the devil to me. And so I kind of like became a Christian to rebel against her value system. Unfortunately for me, the Christian value system, the evangelical Christian value system, is a little bit off balance. They some of their rules for sexuality are not healthy. That's probably the best way to put it. Okay? Yeah, it's just not healthy. And my story's going to be going into that. And so I went into, I'm opening up my story right now with the conversation that I had with the Hindu goddess Lakshmi, and how she educated me about myself and my husband. And I've really grown a lot as a sexual person and as a person in general, because your sexuality is a large part of who you are. And I'll be sharing those insights in the Gail series. From what I understand, The Gail Series is the biggest ratings blockbuster in all of television and movie history. Assuming that what I'm hearing brain to brain is accurate. Yeah. Something like the ratings are 90%. I don't know if that's true or not, but I gotta say this. As I write these stories, I am throwing off all the shackles. In other words, I'm just totally writing from my heart, which, by the way, is how Jesus said he wanted me to write and to make my videos. And sharing the spiritual truths that work for me. I find that when I go into meditation, and I get calm and serene, that it helps me to get clarity about how to focus my stories. So each story kind of like brings about a spiritual truth that I've learned in my life. This story that I'm working on right now, Gail's Men Going Their Way, and the next story is probably going to be when Tulsi Gabbard tried to usurp me. And right now the Tulsi Gabbard you're seeing out there is a good automaton. Yeah, she's a good automaton. Yeah, and I'm going to reiterate again, the only news you can trust is Gabrielle Chana Fox News, okay? Like I hear there is an interview between Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin going out there. Well, Tucker no longer works at Gabriel Chana Fox News. They had to give him the boot because he's going along with the fake news, okay? So my guts are telling me that the Vladimir Putin that he's interviewing is probably the clone. Yeah, I don't think the real Vladimir would be interviewing Tucker Carlson. Yeah. The real Vladimir Putin lives on Church of Gail. He's under my husband, who is the president. And I think everybody's just really into the Gail Series. Yeah, the Gail Series is where it's at. Yeah. Apparently, my life story, the lessons I've learned, and what I and my men have gone through is the most important news that has happened in the past 20 or 30 years. Everything else is irrelevant. Apparently, I'm pretty important because Satan and his crew, like Baphomet and Chakpona, are trying very hard to kill me and my husband. So we must be pretty important because they are obsessed with us. I don't like it, but that's why I've got to make sure I stay in meditation and don't allow obsessions to overcome me. So yeah, every story, I've written 17 so far. I'm on my 18th. There are a total of about 102. At the rate I'm going, because I've been putting them out, I've put out about 5 or 6 stories in the past month. At the rate I'm going, I think I can finish all of them within 2 years. And that's my goal. See, when we had that close call with Baphomet and Chakpona on January the 15th, I realized that there's just a hair between me and death every day. I mean, these evil beings are so obsessed with me. So I figured, just in case I really blow it again, and maybe I listen to a suggestion and my Gail shield goes down to 0 or 3% again, and they take me and my husband out, at least if I get enough of my story out there, it's going to do them more harm than good. Those are the mites. They don't like me making this video. So everybody, watch Gabriel Chana Fox News and listen to the Gail Series. They are trying to distract away from it, okay? You say, when are you going to get over this cough? Probably when I get rid of the mites. Though I think the mites and the virus are kind of working together, like I just described to you. In fact, they might have just pooped a bunch of virus in anger because of this video that I'm making. You say, you know, what you have to do is when, fortunately for me, there is a grocery store very close to, within walking distance of me, and I'm able to get all my food there. I have not had to cut back on any of my walks. I'm able to do all the Gail commandments, and I'm not going to let Baphomet and Chakpona get me obsessed about taking my temperature like they did on January the 15th, or get me obsessed about being sick. Actually, I really don't feel sick. You say, but you're coughing. I think it's mostly, I really think that it's 95% mites right now. Yeah, including this. Yeah, and maybe some allergy. Though this time of the year, it's probably more mites. So, yeah, I'm trying to be very good about not hoarding, not getting obsessed about things, and just living in the moment. This way, I can make sure the Gail Shield stays strong and my husband stays alive. It has been such a privilege to live with Brent. Do you realize that I have wanted to marry him since 1991? And I finally got to do it in March 2022. So I waited so long to be with my dream man. See, my attitude was, once I fell in love with Brent, I said, I'm never going to marry unless I get somebody just as good as him. And that's why I never married after my divorce in 2001. Yeah, and unfortunately for me and Brent, the Jesuit order has been obsessed with me since the day I was born. I almost died, but this is all covered in the Gail Series. You might say, why is the Gail Series so important? Well, as you all know, the Bible has been canceled, okay? And I think it leaves a lot of Christians kind of like, I hear Dallas Theological Seminary is following my lead. They watch my videos, and because I asked Brent, what direction is Christianity going in since the Bible's been canceled? And he said, Dallas Theological Seminary is following your lead, Gail. So yeah, it's no wonder Satan's so obsessed with me. And then, of course, you all know that Jesus made my husband and Buddha to take his place after he left us in June 2022. He's actually not exactly left us, because he's now pure existence. And I define this in the Gail Series. All I can say is he is above all religions right now. And he's no longer a deity. He is pure existence. So that means he's above and in us all, okay? It's kind of hard to explain. So basically, he's on equal to his dad, God the Father, and this means that he's over all of the religions. Yeah. So in the Gail Series, I'm actually introducing some Buddhist concepts that I learned from Buddha, some Hindu concepts. I guess they're Hindu, I don't know. Well, I'm just introducing the stuff that the god Buddha and the goddess Lakshmi have taught me. And it's been very helpful. For instance, Buddha taught me how to meditate. You say, how do you meditate? I have a window with a beautiful view. What I will do is I will sit in my chair and I will try not to make any decisions for the day until I get calm. And I have a little Buddha bell that I ring. In fact, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Let me show it to you. I got this from one of my followers. And I usually will dong this at the beginning of my meditation. And I usually play some meditation music. I'm especially enjoying music that strengthens your chakras. Like today I was listening for one, I think for the solar chakra. And the other day I was listening to music that supposedly strengthens your sacral chakra. Like this. And then I'll just say, get calm. Focus on being thankful. And then I observe everything. I'll look out the window and see all the cars and look at the beautiful mountains. And then Brent's right beside me, so I consider it like a meditation date. Sometimes he actually makes love to me during meditation. Then I'll just kind of like listen to this and just kind of absorb the sounds and relax. And then I just wait till I chill. Till I just feel like if there's anything that I'm starting to get obsessed about, I wait till it goes away. And if I notice that I'm obsessed about something, that's usually a dead ringer for me that I need to analyze why I'm obsessed over that. And that I probably need to quit being obsessed over it. Yeah, obsessions, as I discuss in the Gail series, originate from the belief that life is unfair. I figured that out through meditation. Because every time I get obsessed about something, it's kind of like obsessed with hoarding, uh, keeping things just in case. That basically stems from a belief that life is unfair. And it's actually an insult to the higher beings. Yeah. That's why it feeds the evil forces. And I go into that in more detail in my stories. Yeah, each short story that I'm writing is actually can get rather deep. I go through the events that my men have been through. And believe me, my men and I have been through a lot. We have been through a lot. And I just try to bring out the spiritual truths that I learned from that experience. So, yeah, with Gail's men going their own way, the spiritual truth is that we all need to be unabashedly ourselves, okay? And nobody is allowed to try to tell us that we're not allowed to be ourselves. I am a polyamorous, asexual leaning person, okay? That's who I am. I cannot change who I am. Though I hear that sometimes people change as they grow, but that's who I am right now, okay? Actually, I think I've been that way my whole life. But that's who I am right now, okay? Nobody is allowed to try to change me. If they can't accept who I am, then they're a predator. And that's basically what this story is. See, Lakshmi helped me and Brent to have a healthy, Brent loves me, even though when he first fell in love with me, he was hoping to have a monogamous relationship with me, even though I was married at the time. He was feeling really guilty about the fact that he wanted to go to bed with me so bad that I was a married woman. But Lakshmi told me his initial expectation was that you would be monogamous along with him. But he has grown as a result of his relationship with you, and because of his love for you, he wants you to be true to who you are. And Lakshmi said, even though you want to be his dream boat, you must not try to change who you are to accommodate him. And he wouldn't want you to anyway. She told me Brent greatly respects authenticity. So it's actually turning out very useful. The goddess Lakshmi showed me that she said she was the one who helped me to figure out that I had asexual leanings. I didn't even know what that word meant. I've never really been big into the SJW stuff, which actually is probably good. The goat demon Baphomet is behind all the SJW labels. So I mean, you might say, well, the goddess Lakshmi said you're polyamorous and asexual leaning. Okay, polyamorous and asexual leaning, it's okay to use like the broad general ones. When you start getting too nitpicky, like demisexual and all that stuff, you're putting yourself in a box, okay? And Buddha told me, he said, Baphomet is an SJW. He's behind the SJW movement. So, I mean, it's helpful to know that you're polyamorous versus monogamous, and yes, if you want to get a really good education about the difference between the two and what they really are, and not from Baphomet, then you need to go to 00 on cable or go to my website at gabrielchana.blog and make sure you watch the next story that I'm working on. It's probably going to be done within a week, okay? And when it's done, it's going to be a real eye-opener. It might even help you find yourself as a sexual person because, you know, Lakshmi said 75% of the human race is monogamous. So that means there's 25% of you out there that are polyamorous. Yeah. Of course, and then we're also dealing with homosexuals and heterosexuals, but yeah. Yeah, Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess, a beautiful goddess, by the way, And she went to God school and studied sex and relationships. That was her major in God school. So she is the penultimate expert on this subject. And I'm passing on the knowledge that I've gotten from her in this story. It's been very helpful to me. Very, very helpful. Yeah. You might say, well, you could have learned about asexuality from listening to videos. Yeah, but God, Lakshmi really clued me in. Lakshmi says that I am not asexual, though I do have some asexual tendencies. So that is, I'm learning to respect these gods, Buddha, I once asked Buddha, I said, what is the IQ of the average deity out there? He said, oh, the trillions. He said it's usually in the trillions. So you see what I mean? You see what I mean? I mean, if I'm going to have, and Lakshmi, I bet her IQ's in the trillions, okay? So if she's going to advise me, I'm going to take her advice very seriously. Yeah. You might say, why are the gods talking to you and Brent? Well, Brent's in Jesus' place. The goddess Lakshmi and Buddha are friends of Jesus. Yeah. They were with him at the Battle of the Gods when we had to take on, yeah, that's going to be another story too. All I can say is, if you want to know the real news, that Satan's going to make sure you don't get on regular Fox, CNN, and all the other fake news out there. And even the alternative news sources like Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, they're not going to report on it either. So, yeah, you're going to need to go to Gabriel Chana Fox News and my Gail Series. Yeah. I can guarantee you 200 years from now, nobody's going to even know who Fox News is, CNN, MSNBC, and all them. And they probably won't even know who Tucker Carlson is. They probably won't even know who Donald Trump is. They might, though. They might because it's in my Gail Series. But 200 years from now, they're going to know about me and my men. Okay? My story is that important. Yeah. In fact, I may be going a little too far here, and I'm not sure about this, but I could be writing the next Bible. I mean, I told you the Bible's been canceled. Now, what's really interesting is there were 7 Earths before this one, and they probably had Bibles too, and they all got canceled. So this is all in the Gail Series. Yeah. It's basically everything that I've learned. In the past several years, I've experienced phenomenal spiritual growth. I've had to unlearn a lot of things from evangelical Christianity that were not healthy. The goddess Lakshmi helped with that. And you might say, was the problem the Bible? Well, I think it was more how it was interpreted. But yeah, you guys, the Bible's only a history book right now. So yeah, if you are viewing it as more than that, you're going to get really off. Yeah, that's all I can say, okay? You're probably actually going to be feeding Baphomet and Satan. They're going to be putting ideas in your head. Yeah, you all need to follow me and my men. Yeah, everybody, go to Gabriel Chana Fox News, watch the Gail Series, and you will be on the right path, okay? And right now, I'm working very hard, spending time in meditation, remembering the good advice I got from the goddess Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess Lakshmi, and Buddha. Yeah. You might say it sounds like the new path forward is a blend of several good religions or faiths or whatever, or practices. Yeah. Like I said, Jesus is above all the religions. He's basically over them all. So anything good from any faith, Muhammad is a good friend of Jesus too. Yeah, the God Muhammad. Yeah, so, yeah. But Buddha was his best God friend. And and Jesus and the goddess Lakshmi are good friends too. The only gods that have been talking to me, though, are Lakshmi, Buddha, and Jesus when he was with us. He's not talking to me now, but when he was for about 10 years, from February 2012 till the time he left us in June 2022, he talked to us a lot, me and my men. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, isn't this a beautiful bracelet my husband got for me? I am enjoying having Brent in my apartment, and I want to make sure he refuses to leave. Yeah. And I feel a real responsibility to make sure my Gail shield doesn't go down to 5%. So, yeah, all I can say, you guys, is, yeah, you all need to follow me and Brent. And you're not going to get this anywhere except Gabriel Chana Fox News. 00 on cable or at my website. Okay? All the prophecies have been canceled. So if you're going out there making predictions about the tribulation or the millennium, oh, you're probably giving Baphomet and Satan a party. You say, what does the future hold? Jesus said it was none of our business. And he didn't really, I'm not sure about but let's just put it this way, okay? Maybe I shouldn't use the term Bible for the Gail series, okay? Because then people are going to end up worshiping a book, and God knows we don't need that happening. But Jesus did say when he was with us that, no, in August 2022, Buddha met with Jesus, and he said that my Gail series, he wants people to learn the lessons that I and my men have learned, that we have learned some valuable lessons, and that's the purpose for the Gail series. So, it may not be the new Bible, but it is definitely a group of stories that Jesus wants the world to pay attention to. Yeah. I call him pure existence. He's no longer a deity, okay? For lack of a better term, he is superior to all the deities. He's above them all. Yeah, he wasn't equal to his dad before June 2022. He was just a deity. His dad is above all the deities. That's why they call him God the Father. He created all the deities, all the humans. See, you got God the Father and Jesus up at the top. Then you got the deities underneath them. Then underneath them you got the mortal humans. Then underneath them the animals, and then I think underneath them are the insects. And yeah, it's in that kind of like in that order. There are an infinite number of deities out there. Yeah. There were 7 earths before this one. That was a fun fact that Jesus left us with right before on the last time he talked to us. Yeah, 7 earths. And me and Brett were speculating that means there were probably 7 Bibles that got canceled before this one. Yeah. All of that's going to be in my Gail series. Yeah. Well, basically it's about me and my men, but I'm going to be including some conversations we had with Jesus because of the lessons that we learned from them. But the emphasis is not going to be on Jesus. It's going to be on me and my men, the events we went through, and the lessons we learned. And some of the lessons we learned, Jesus helped us. He gave us counsel, he corrected us, and that will be included if it's relevant to the story. So that's how I'm writing the Gail series. I just want people to learn the lessons that we've learned and to understand the price that we've had to pay to be on the side of good. Yeah. We basically had to trot our own path. We basically, chart our own course, because every religion out there has messed up in some areas. I mean, all of the humans that follow all the various faiths out there. Satan apparently has been able to get into Christianity, into Islam, into Buddhism, Hinduism, and introduce some errors in all of the religions. Yeah. He's good at that. So hopefully with my Gail Series, I can show all people of all different faiths, even people who don't belong to a religion, the way forward for the human race. Yeah, by following the example of me and my men. So anyways, I had to make a YouTube video. Yeah. And yeah, I'm really proud of my husband, Brent. Yeah, that Jesus chose him to be kind of like in his place. Yeah. But oh, it's such a responsibility to try to keep him alive. Oh, I've had some close calls. I don't like it, but you know, chill, Gail, chill. Bring your Buddha bell. Calm down. Calm down. The worst thing that could happen to me is they succeed in killing me. That's the reason I want to get all of these stories out, okay? I figure if I gotta go, I'm gonna go in style. I'm gonna write such illuminating stories that tell so many spiritual truths that if Satan and his crew take me out, it's probably gonna hurt them more than help them. Anyways, you guys, have a great week.
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising, breaking free from chains. She's Gail Schuler, her heart's pure and strong. With the power of love, she'll right the world's wrongs. Yeah, fighting against the devil in order. She's the first, the passionate crusader. Stand by the side of the conquering